Pensacola, Florida is the site for round number 2 of the Hidden Trails Yamaha Pro Watercross Tour. And here along the white sand beaches and emerald blue waters of the Gulf of Mexico, the riders will compete in what is arguably the roughest water conditions of the race season.
The wave conditions are crazy. Every lap's completely different. You never know what you're going to be into on like the front straightaway and near the pier where it's super rough. And I think once we get 20 guys on the line, it's going to be quite a show.
It's like motocross, you know, a lot of waves and just trying to be clean and work through the water as best you can today. And yeah, the start's always important, but out here, just staying up on two wheels as I would normally say.
I think the main thing is just going to be just focus on staying on the ski, because there's a lot of people are going to fall off, and it's, you know, it's going to be a survival game.
Hello everyone and welcome once again to the Grand Prix of Watercross. I'm Ian Howard. Well, it's a short turnaround for all these riders who 1 week ago were competing 90 miles to the east in Panama City Beach, Florida. Sport GP getting ready for their first of 3 motos, and here's Don Dawson with this update.
Well, as you know, Kelly Smith dominated last week. He had a phenomenal run. Glenn Young, your defending national champion, had some boat issues as he went to Panama City Beach, and I guarantee you Glenn has been hard at work inside of that boat. Let's see what happens and who is going to be at the top of the waves. Boats are quiet. Pretty sure the mechanics and tuners are hard at work right now.
And let's go to the highlights for Sport GP. 12 riders on the line, led by round 1 winner, Kelly Smith, who took the overall. He's from Ludington, Michigan. He swept all 3 motos last week on way to his overall, the first of the race season. And off the racers would go, and they would be greeted by some huge waves, upwards 4 to 6 feet. You can see all the skiers porpoising in and out of the water, getting some monstrous air down that front straightaway. The riders would settle in as they would try to navigate their way through the very rough water conditions here in Pensacola Beach, Florida. And the whole shot would go to none other than Kelly Smith, with Johnny Smith from Mims, Florida in second, no relation. Johnny was 3rd overall last weekend behind Kelly Smith, as we told you, who swept all 3 motos. And Johnny Smith would get past Kelly Smith for the lead early on as these two would battle.
Yeah, got out to a pretty good start and had some early competition. And man, he was running hard out in front of me, and I just kept kind of following, hoping for a mistake somewhere.
Moving forward to lap number 5, and the lead would be short-lived as Johnny would become a victim of the rough waters, allowing Kelly Smith to move into that lead position as he would go for his 4th consecutive moto win on the season. Johnny would get back on a ski and try to battle Kelly, but it would be to no avail as Kelly Smith would cross the finish line first, recording his 4th consecutive moto win of the season. Time now for moto number 2 as Kelly Smith would look for his 5th consecutive moto win to open up the season, and he, along with all the other riders, would catch some huge air, but Smith would get his ski hooked up just in time to battle Billy Dearman from Madison, Mississippi, aboard that white ski near your screen for the hole shot. But once again, Kelly Smith with that hole shot as Sam Nemi would check into 2nd and Billy Dearman into 3rd.
I got the whole shot and came down the front stretch, and I knew we were probably separating ourselves from everybody at the pace we were going.
So Smith up front early on as Sam Nemi would try to track him down. Then Glenn Young would emerge in that 3rd spot, and Johnny Smith would go in the water, a victim of the rough water conditions. Early in the race as Smith would battle alongside Sam Nemi as the two would battle down that front straightaway.
I was about 3rd or 4th going around the first turn. I worked my way up right behind him, and we're battling for a little while. I passed him on the back straightaway. I was in 1st, and then I underestimated him. I thought I had a good enough of a lead till he got on the front straightaway, and then he caught me back again, passed me.
And Kelly Smith's good fortune would come to an end as he would lose control of his ski in the rough water along the front straightaway. He would finish up in 7th, ending his 4-moto winning streak, and Sam Nemi would get his 1st moto win of the race season. Moto number 3, we'd go on board with Sam Nemi, who just came off his 1st moto win of the year. Johnny Smith and Andrew Bazan would also battle for the lead down that front straightaway, but the whole shot would go to Johnny Smith, who went off the ski back in moto number 2. Andrew Bazan would be in 2nd from Burlington, Ontario, Canada. And it would be a great battle for that lead spot as Smith and Bazan would battle, going back and forth. And it would be Bazan along the back straightaway who would get past Johnny Smith and take command of the race. Lap number 3, Bazan catching some big air. Johnny Smith trying to keep his ski hooked up, and he'd hook it up, he would, as he would get past the Canadian, and he would roll to victory. So Johnny Smith would come from behind in moto number 3 to capture the win and take home the overall, followed by Sam Nemi and Chris Heislop as you get a look at the rest of your field. And here's the point standings after 2 rounds of competition.
Really like to thank my Georgia boys, David Bassett and Cat Daddy. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been on the podium the last 2 weeks. I probably wouldn't even be racing this class. So thank you guys.
Coverage of the Grand Prix of Watercross from Pensacola Beach, Florida has been made possible by Hidden Trails Motorsports, Yamaha, Sea-Doo, Santa Rosa Island Authority, Pensacola Sports Association, Casino Beach Bar and Grill, Pensacola Motorsports, and by these fine sponsors.
Limitations, like fears, are often just illusion. Naples will test their limits. Pro Watercross World Championship. September, Naples.
Pensacola is actually the oldest settlement in the United States. If you're a beach lover, this is a great place. If you're a history buff, come enjoy it. Regularly, we're ranked in the top 10 or 20 in the nation for best beaches or best destination beaches, family vacations and whatnot. We have the home of the Blue Angels is here, a great military component here. We have the Naval Aviation Museum, a great museum. Again, a lot to do to fill up your vacation. They go to PensacolaSports.com or go to visitpensacola.com. You can find out all the information.
Pro freestylers getting ready, and for more, let's go to Don Dawson in the pits with this update. Don?
Hey, I'm in one of the coolest places on the beach. I'm up in the lifeguard tower right here in Pensacola Beach, Florida for round number 2. Seemed appropriate if you're going to talk about some of the coolest guys, and that's our pro freestyle guys. Jason Steuer looked flawless last weekend at Panama City Beach. Let's see what he can do when he gets even bigger waves to play in, because Pensacola Beach is definitely biggie-sized.
So Jace Forrest, your defending national champion, would be up first last weekend from Panama City Beach, Florida. He finished up second behind the destroyer, Jason Steuer. And with a record amount of fans looking on, Jace Forrest, the young rider from Texas, would come out and dazzle the fans with an array of tricks, getting some big air as he would take on the waters here in the Gulf of Mexico. So Forrest, your defending national champion in pro freestyle from a year ago, came up a bit short last weekend against the 3-time national champion. The man right there showing a lot of appreciation for the job that Jace Forrest from Austin, Texas was doing out on the water. Jason Steuer would be on the water next for pro freestyle as he would try to best the routine of his teammate Jace Forrest. So the rider from Clearwater, Florida would go big and catch a lot of air. Watch it one more time. The amplitude, huge amount of air, and landed solid. Again, a solid routine here by Jason Steuer, a 3-time former pro freestyle world champion, and Steuer would continue to catch a lot of air. Again on replay, watch Steuer one-handed and nail the landing. So Steuer putting on a clinic out here in the second round of competition, trying to make it back-to-back wins in pro freestyle to open up the season. And the man they called the Destroyer from Clearwater, Florida, would once again be on top.
Cannot forget about Team Extreme, Pat Bogard, Chucky at the shop, Jet Pilot, Blue Fox Management, HydroTurf, Power Factor Pipes, VP Racing. That's my team. I love it.
Welcome back to Pensacola, Florida, and coverage of round number 2. It's the Grand Prix of Watercross as we have Pro-Am Runabout stock on the line. And for more, let's go to the pits where Don Dawson is standing by. Don?
Team Yamaha and Dean's team looking pretty hot, I gotta say. First and third in the Pro-Am Runabout stock. Baldwin had a phenomenal run last week, and so did Offadel. So these guys just touching base with him. What are you going to do? Have you changed the boat any? He said, you know what, Don, our biggest deal right now, just stay on the boat, stay smooth, and we're going to rock it.
And thanks, Don, for that update. As you get a look at the lineup for Pro-Am Runabout stock, a manufacturer's battle out here, as 8 riders would take to the start, including the onboard we'd have from Dylan Osborne from Claremont, Florida, who would look to get off to a solid start here in his first moto of race action. But checking out with the whole shot would be the rider from West Palm Beach, Florida, Eric Francis, a former national champion in the class. He would check out with the lead.
Really rough conditions, so the smartest thing to do is just take your time and just, be smart out there. Just not too aggressive, not pushing it, just good solid riding.
So Francis with the whole shot, he would go wire to wire in this one with no challenge to pick up his first moto win of the season. Moto number 2, then Brian Baldwin would get a false start and would have to start with a dead engine and try to roar all the way back as we'd go on board once again with Dylan Osborne, who would take us up and over the big waves here from Pensacola Beach, Florida. And checking out with the whole shot would be Kuwait's very own Abdullah Al-Fadel, he the leader early on.
Just I hold the bar as kinda like I don't believe how I stay on the ski in this rough water, but I will try to get the overall this weekend.
So Al-Fadel with the lead through the rough water conditions, trying to hold off Eric Francis, who would try to break 3 through the waves. Francis second, and then Brian Baldwin would emerge back in third.
Jumped the start, so I had to start with a dead engine and come from last, and caught up to him, and once I got up to him, it's like the surf picked up, and I just couldn't make any more ground on him.
Baldwin had a pair of wins last weekend, taking home victories in Moto 2 and number 3, but it wouldn't be here in Moto 2 as Abdullah Al-Fadel would go the distance, recording his second Moto win of the season. Third and final moto for Pro-Am Runabout stock as we go on board once again with Dylan Osborne. And instead, Osborne would be looking at some riders up front, including Abdullah Al-Fadel and Brian Baldwin, along with Travis Selesco, who would challenge for the lead. And emerging first once again would be the young rider from Kuwait, Abdullah Al-Fadel. Lap number 5 in the battle for second place would become intense. Brian Baldwin, who took the overall a week ago, from Panama City Beach, Florida, would try to hold off Eric Francis, who finished second behind him a week ago, and Francis would catch a lot of air. The battle would rage on 2 laps later. Baldwin would just be ahead of Francis, who would try to catch him as they go side by side.
Yeah, I mean, me and Baldwin go way back. We're both, very good surf riders, so it's always a pleasure to have such a close battle with him, and we literally duked it out every single lap. He made a mistake, I'd make a mistake, and we just swapped it up, and I just happened to get him on that white flag lap.
And down the final front straightaway, the riders would go. It'd be Abdullah Al-Fadel capturing the moto win, but the overall would go to Eric Francis. As you look at the overall results, Francis, a win and a pair of seconds was better than Abdullah's 4th place and a pair of moto wins, as he would take the overall here from Pensacola Beach. And here's the point standings after 2 rounds of competition.
I think the entire team that came out this weekend, Jeff, Janelle, my girlfriend Chelsea, my dad for working hours on end getting that ski ready, and of course all the sponsors that make it happen, Monster Energy, Kawasaki, Mountain Motorsports, Farthing Racing, Fly Racing, HydroTurf, Quakey Sense. Without these guys, I wouldn't be able to be here.
Pro-Am Runabout Open up next, and as we're in the pits, let's visit with Don Dawson for this update. Don?
Well, grab the pencil and paper because you need to take notes. It's that much happening. First off, Arminio Iantasco broke last week. Still no sign of him in Pensacola Beach. Secondly, Al-Fadel ready to rock and roll. He is here in force. And then you've also got 2 riders from Team Kawasaki that look amazing. Eric Francis, the 911 in the house. And you also have the Bayou Beast. That's our new nickname for GL Lejeune.
So there's a look at your lineup. 6 Pro-Am Runabout Open skis on the line, led by your round 1 winner, Abdullah Al-Fadel, who swept all 3 motos a week ago. So you'd have to consider Abdullah one of the favorites, though the water conditions a lot different than a week ago from Panama City Beach, Florida. And instead it would be Eric Francis battling Abdullah Al-Fadel as they would race down that front straightaway, both riders catching a lot of air. And emerging with the whole shot would be Eric Francis aboard a stock ski, figuring he didn't need all the power of an open ski to get around the race course in these rough water conditions. So Francis aboard a Kawasaki, getting a lot of air and recording the whole shot.
Kawasaki's always shining the rough, so I mean, this is just perfect, ideal conditions, and I couldn't ask for a better weekend to go racing out in, Pensacola Beach.
So Francis trying to break the 3-moto winning streak of Abdullah Al-Fadel, and Brian Baldwin would go airborne sideways in the air, and he would crash land into the waters of the Gulf of Mexico.
So rough, I tried to cut it tight, and the boat just washed out and crashed.
So Baldwin would be okay, coming around to finish in 3rd, as you heard the young riders say, but taking home the moto win would be Eric Francis. Moto number 2, same lineup out there, as Eric Francis from West Palm Beach, Florida would look to make it 2 consecutive moto wins. Abdullah Al-Fadel, who finished up in 2nd back in Moto 1, would look to right the ship after opening up the season with 3 consecutive moto wins. And up front, it would be Abdullah Al-Fadel recording the whole shot.
Dean changed a few things on the handling to keep it better on the rough water, and he did a great job, as you see.
Moving ahead a lap, as Abdullah Al-Fadel would try to hold off Brian Baldwin, who would try to take the long way around and avoid the very rough water. That would allow Eric Francis to run side by side with him as he would sneak into the inside. And the 2 veteran riders, one aboard a Yamaha and Francis aboard a Kawasaki, would get pounded. Lap number 5, Al-Fadel running with a lot of confidence in the rough water would try to hold off Baldwin, and again Francis working to the inside, trying to track down the leaders in front of him. So a great battle would take shape along the back straightaway as Francis, near your screen, would try to hold off Brian Baldwin. So the Yamaha Baldwin would get past the Kawasaki and move into 2nd place behind Al-Fadel. Fast forward a lap, Al-Fadel continuing to lead it. Lots of air by Brian Baldwin along the pier side of the race course, and Baldwin would get swept off his ski as he would go nose first into the Gulf of Mexico.
On that side straightaway over there, a wave just got me, and it nosed down, and it was going for Davy Jones' locker, as Mikey Young would say.
Baldwin would emerge unscathed, although finishing back in 3rd place for the 2nd consecutive time, and recording his 4th moto win of the season would be Abdullah Al-Fadel. Final moto for Pro-Am Runabout Open, and it would be a battle early on as the 3 top riders this weekend would all battle down the front straightaway, led by Abdullah Al-Fadel on the red ski. Top of your screen, Eric Francis, though, would record the whole shot, with Brian Baldwin sliding into 3rd, with GL Lejeune back in 4th.
We were hanging it all out. There wasn't much left. I mean, you saw the air we were getting. Every single one of us was going 100%. It was all or nothing at that point.
So with everything on the line here in this 3rd and final moto, you heard Eric Francis saying both riders would hang it all out, and Francis needing to hold off Abdullah Al-Fadel to record the overall, as both riders had a moto win and a 2nd place finish. and it would be Eric Francis coming around for his second moto win of the weekend, and that would give him the overall, followed by Alfadel, Baldwin, Lejeune, Osborne, and Bellamy rounding out your field. And here's the point standings after 2 rounds of competition.
I can't complain. I went 3 for 3 in 3 different classes, and I mean, I rode a stock ski in all 3 classes. It was a 2015 Kawasaki Ultra 310R. I can't thank Kawasaki for building, a better rough water ski, and it just seems to work for me. I can't be happier.
Coverage of the Grand Prix of Watercross from Pensacola Beach, Florida has been made possible by Hidden Trails Motorsports, Yamaha, Sea-Doo, Santa Rosa Island Authority, Pensacola Sports Association, Casino Beach Bar and Grill, Pensacola Motorsports, and by these fine sponsors.
Limitations, like fears, are often just illusion. Naples will test their limits. Pro Watercross World Championship. September, Naples.
Welcome back to Pensacola Beach, Florida, and coverage of the Grand Prix of Watercross. It's round number 2. Well, we're getting ready for our fastest skis on the water, GP Ski. And for more on what's going to take place here this weekend, let's visit with Don Dawson, who's in the pits. Don?
Honestly, have to say, if I'm trying to work who is going to be some of the top surf riders around the country, there's no way I can start that list without including Dustin Matsouras and Chris McCluggage, who are going to be facing off in these kind of waves for round number 2 in Pensacola Beach. And if you think about it, coming into this, Dustin Matsouras is going to be on the charge, and they are up against some stiff competition. Chris McCluggage will be bringing it like he always does.
And again, a packed house out here this weekend for GP Ski, led by Chris McCluggage, a 2-time former ski world champion, as he would be a part of the lineup here in qualification heat number 1. Again, a pair of qualifying heats for GP Ski, and then a winner-take-all main event would be right afterwards, and it would be Chris McCluggage up front from Lake Havasu City, Arizona, originally from Naples, Florida, as he would battle side-by-side with Jimmy Wilson. And Wilson would look to take charge early on. However, McCluggage would duck underneath him and record the whole shot. So a veteran move by a veteran rider.
It's very choppy, and there's probably 4 to 6 foot waves out there. It's really fun, but it beats you up. Back 10 years ago, I would have been a lot crazier. But we're gonna have a good time this weekend, and if everything goes right, we should be able to win.
So Mac looking to be victorious once again. However, he would fall on hard times top of the race course, as he would lose power on his ski and be dropped out of the race.
Fortunately, with the ignitions we use, they either work or they don't work. And in the qualifier, it didn't work. It stopped and kind of crashed while I was in the lead.
Bill Haig, the veteran, in his 31st season of pro watercross racing, would battle Cody Copenhaver in only his 3rd season of racing for that 2nd spot. And Jimmy Wilson from Concord, North Carolina, would come around and record the heat win. Qualification Heat B would be underway as you get a look at the lineup led by two-time former ski world champion Dustin Monsouris, originally from South Africa, now making his home in Arizona. It would be Monsouris aboard his Commander Industry ski that would power him to the lead early on.
We made a bunch of little improvements since last weekend, just getting the basics set up a lot better. The boat's really, really good. So we're definitely going in the right direction, and we made such big gains.
No one would have an answer for Dustin Monsouris as he would power his Commander Industry ski to a qualification heat victory. So with the qualification heats now in the books, time for the winner-take-all main event. 18 skis on the line, led by your round one winner, Chris McCluggage from Lake Havasu City, Arizona. And down the front straightaway would go all 18 skis, led by Cody Copenhaver from Surprise, Arizona. Copenhaver last week had a 5th place overall finish. Dustin Monsouris would follow in suit right behind in second, with Chris McCluggage back in 3rd place early on. And it would be a side-by-side battle as the two riders, that would be Copenhaver and Dustin Monsouris, would bring it to the front straightaway, and it would be Monsouris who would record the whole shot for Commander Industries as he would take the early lead.
Good start in the main event. Unfortunately, on the way through the breakers, through the first wave, it blew my lenses out of my goggles. So lucky, I was still lucky enough to get the whole shot, but I was battling with vision from that point on. So even though a whole shot it, had a crash on the first lap, I couldn't see where I was going. I was getting so much spray because the water was so rough.
So Monsouris, after going wire to wire in his qualification heat win, would have problems along the back stretch and succumb to the rough water conditions, allowing Chris McCluggage to get past him for the lead. Lap number 2 still early on, and the battle for 4th place would ensue with Bill Hague trying to hold off the rest of the field, including the veteran Rob Flores right behind him, as Cody Copenhaver and then Flores would battle for that 5th spot on the race course right behind Bill Hague, who was in 4th. And it would be Rob Flores, the veteran rider, a pro since 1988, who would emerge in 4th. Meanwhile, back up front, Chris McCluggage would continue to pace the field, and starting to rein him in would be Dustin Monsouris. So a pair of two-time former ski world champions, about the best in the business, would go toe-to-toe here in the Gulf of Mexico. And McCluggage would win the battle early on, as Jimmy Wilson, who finished 2nd overall last weekend, would be forced to the beach as he had some mechanical issues with his ski.
Hose clamp coming off, the exhaust chamber popped off and the whole coupler came off. I was able to nurse it back to the beach and grab a stock boat and just go out and try to get some points.
Moving ahead then to lap number 6, lap traffic would continue to be a factor as Mac would look to extend his lead over his nemesis, that being the rider from South Africa, as we'd pan the camera back, and there would be Dustin Monsouris trying for a late stage rally, but it wouldn't be enough as Chris McCluggage would take home the overall, his 2nd consecutive in 2 weekends of racing. So it'd be Mac on top, followed by Monsouris, Hague, Flores, and Copenhaver, rounding out your top 5. And here's the point standings after 2 rounds of competition.
I just want to thank Monster Energy, my wife, Mac Racing, Rusty Gowicki, Bullet Racing, Jetlift, Maxima, Bell, Liquid Militia, Oakley, Rhino Power, Scat Track, definitely for helping us put that power to the water. That we came here to win, and that's what we do. When we come to the line, we come prepared, and we welcome all challenges.
So that'll do it for round number 2 and the Grand Prix of Watercross right here from Pensacola Beach, Florida. Make your plans to be with us for round number 3 as the teams move cross country to Sparks, Nevada. So on behalf of our entire crew, I'm Ian Howard saying so long, and we'll see you next time right back here on the water.